welcome to Teas and Testimonies. I am so excited about our first episode in season 1 about the fruit of the Spirit. Now, our amazing guest for today, who is going to be talking about love with us, is Miss Fran Thomas, and she is amazing in every way possible. Cannot wait till you guys hear all of the wise words that she has to say. We're also going to be trying a new fruit tea because we're talking about the fruit of the Spirit. Our first fruit tea is going to be Country Peach Passion, and Miss Fran is going to tell us what she thinks about it first. She put a little honey in it, so it may be a little sweeter. But what we don't know about peach teas or like fruit teas or all the things, like they don't really get a lot of credit for being healthy for us, but they have a lot of vitamins in it. And just this on the back says that it comes from blackberry leaves and citric acid and has orange peels and all the things you can think about in this one tea. And it's way healthier than all the junk you can put in coffee. So just if you want to go to the store, I literally got this from Walmart for like $3. So healthier and hopefully tastes good. So Miss Fran can taste it and tell us what she thinks.
Okay.
All right.
I feel no pressure.
Okay. Tell us what you think.
See.
Does it taste like peachy? How does it smell, Fran?
Oh, I love this. I can smell the peach.
I know.
Yeah. This.
Yes.
And it's in this. Look at the little cup here.
It's
the little
cute.
mug.
I know.
What is it? A cup or a mug?
It's like a teacup
A teacup.
/ mug.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
See what you think.
Oh, this is lovely.
Is it? Can you taste the peach in it?
Yes.
Or is it more honey?
No, it's peach.
Yes. It's coming through.
This is lovely.
It is. I love it. It's one of my favorite teas.
I feel healthier.
Yeah. So if you guys want a healthy alternative for any of like the fruit teas, get Country Peach. Peach is one of my favorite teas ever, cold or hot. So great option. Yeah. But now we're going to get into the fun stuff, which is our episode on love with Miss Fran Thomas. Now, Fran is my boss here at Union University, and she is the best leader, the best boss that I've ever seen in the entire world. She's great. And a part of those reasons are for some of the reasons that we're going to talk about now. She is the queen of love. She loves her employees. She loves the school. She loves her job. She loves the Lord. And so that's why we called her on this episode today. So, Fran, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. You're very kind.
No, that's all true. All true about
I feel like I immediately need to say, bring the expectation level down. But
it's going to be great.
You're very kind. Thank you.
Okay. So we're going to start with like a fun question. Okay. And the fun question, because this is going to air on Valentine's Day.
Yes.
And she wore red just for you guys.
I know. I was so proud of myself.
She wore it just for you guys. So what is the best Valentine's Day gift that you ever got?
Oh, listen. Here's the thing. With any holiday, Valentine's Day, birthdays, Christmas, I am very low maintenance.
Yeah.
I am very low maintenance. That is gift giving. If that is one of the love languages, I don't know that it is or isn't. I don't know. That is not something that I appreciate or that I need, which can be a problem. So with that being said, I don't have a high expectation of, I mean, you could literally give me, you know, a $10 McDonald's gift card and I would be thrilled. Like, I don't care. Yeah. I don't care. So that's helpful to my husband, to my kids, because they're like, she really doesn't care. And I really don't care. So this is so silly, but it's true. Being simple, I literally love just flowers because I don't ever buy them for myself. Yep. I appreciate their beauty. I love what they represent. I think they're just precious and sweet. I don't care if they came from Walmart or if they came from the expensive florist. So I'm always going to love and appreciate flowers. Yes. And then I'm not going to be mad if you throw me on a Starbucks gift card. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If you know anything about Fran, she loves her coffee. I do. She loves coffee. I do. So anyway, yeah, it's just simple stuff. Yeah. It's the simple things. There's a phone ring.
There is a phone ring.
That's okay.
It is.
It just ring. It's going to just keep ringing and we're going to roll with it.
Okay. That's all right. That's fine. You can edit this part. Yeah, it's okay. But let's see. Today, we're going to be celebrating Valentine's Day, Fran. And we're talking all about the gifts. And we're talking about how well you can show somebody that you love them. Now, Steve, before he was my boyfriend, he spread roses all outside on the porch for I don't know how many roses he got. I have no idea.
Precious.
But it was so precious. And he gave me my favorite Chick-fil-A breakfast. He tried to make it in like the shape of a heart. He just put so much effort into it. Yeah. And I feel like it's easy for us to do that, like with the people that we love. It's easy for us to do that with just the people that we see every day. Right. How can we show that same love, put the same intention and everything into like the way that we pursue the Lord?
Okay, that's a great question. And we can give the short, simple answer, and then I feel like we kind of want to unpack it just a little bit too. So when it comes to, and you've heard me say this a lot, but it's the real truth. And I think in all of our lives, sometimes when we're so busy and we're very overwhelmed, we could be happy one minute, sad the next minute, angry, frustrated, whatever it is we're feeling. I think that we need to remind ourselves to go back to the very basics, and that is going to be to love God and to love our neighbor. And we know that. It's just, how do we do that when we've got all those conditions happening in our life? And I think that when it comes to our pursuit of the Lord and our love for Him, I'm learning this now maybe more than ever as I get older. And it's this. We can love the Lord with our mind. Like intellectually, I love the Lord. But we also want that to come out in how we love our neighbor. And I'm going to easily love you if I know that I love the Lord and that He loves me. That it's not just a thought, but it's just natural for me to verbally love you, to show you love in my actions and how I treat you and how I respect you. Because I don't want to just love this idea of the Lord. Or like I said the other day, I don't want to just appreciate Him. I want to truly love Him. And when I'm loving Him, first thing, for me, it's first thing in the morning. I can do that. At your age, you may not be able to do that. You may not be in that stage of life where getting up early in the morning and getting in the Word is what you can do. The Lord is good with that. He understands that. It's just all day long, how am I pursuing the Lord? Because if I'm doing that all day long, then I'm going to naturally love you well, love my neighbor well when I'm interrupted. And I think interrupted is probably I think that it's a word, I don't know what I would replace it with, but it's a strong word that brings a lot of negative thoughts or emotions attached to it. But I'm going to naturally love you regardless of what's going on in my day or your day. If I get up and I spend time with the Lord every single day, this, I would also say that in our pursuit of the Lord, and I think for you guys in your age and just how you've grown up, you may have a tendency to have the scriptures, to go to the scriptures on your phone. And I think that's fine. And I do think there's a place for that. And I have to fight for the Word of God, because I think that having the weight of it, seeing the totality of it, that I can easily see that when I'm in a certain book that I have got so many notes here, and it just, I remember things better when I have it laid out this way. And so just, finding what works for you every single day, and it can look different every single day. Like, give ourselves some grace there. But for me, I'm going to be in some kind of reading plan. I'm going to be in intentional prayer for you, for our team, for my family, the people that I love. And I need this. I need it to be structured for me first thing in the morning. And then I've just got little things throughout the day that I'm going to pull into my day. So it's going to start here. It's very hard for you to love when you're running off of an empty spiritual tank. I don't want to get legalistic and you've got to wake up and spend. But I do know that that's a beautiful, strong way to start your day. Is right here.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
And then also, I think Jackie Hill Perry was like, how can you truly love and trust someone if you don't know them?
That's
and
right.
that's how you get to know
That's
the
right.
Lord.
That's right.
So,
he speaks to us through his word.
Yeah.
If we're like, well, what does he think? Or what does he say?
Yeah.
Well, it's like, I don't know. Have you read the scriptures? You know, and the more you're in the scriptures, then the more you're going to pull from. Well, remember in Joshua, when this occurred, this is how you are going to respond to that. Or remember when Jesus encountered the woman at the well, that's how you're going to respond. And so you've got to get in here, because as much as you love me and I love you, you don't want my opinion.
Yeah.
You want my wisdom and my advice that has been filtered through here.
Ugh,
that's what
so
you
good.
want.
Yeah.
That's what we all want. Otherwise, you're just, you know,
just yapping based off your own mind.
That's right.
That is so good. So good. Okay. Now, working under Fran, you're always going to hear her say that we don't want to just love people, but we want to love them well.
Yes.
What is the difference between loving someone and loving them well?
Yeah.
And where do you go to when you think about that?
Yeah.
When you think about Jesus and how he loved people?
Well, you're going to love people where they are. And we're all in different places. And so I know that it's important for me to approach love from a place of humility. If I'm not being humble in who I am and my own brokenness and my own sin, then I'm going to love you from a place of arrogance and I know everything and how dare you have that sin. Like, I can't do that. We can't be judgmental. We can't be critical. We have to know what sin is. We don't need to be afraid of it. But I know that for me to love really well, and it's going to take some time. You're not going to just like go right into the deep end. You know, it's going to take some time to establish that trust and that respect and that friendship, so that I can love you well. So I think there's some progression there. Otherwise, you're just going to be a lot for somebody. Like, well, let me tell you. And you're like, I don't even know you. Why are you telling me all these things? And so that's okay. Love people where they are. Meet them wherever they are. From a very humble place. Because that right there is going to establish some trust, some respect, some patience, that I really do care about you. And I have so many stories that the Lord has allowed me to live in those places with people that we can't just, our goal is not to just step in and fix people. Our goal is not just to step in and say, this is what you need to do. That's not loving well. To love somebody well is to meet them where they are and to just trust the Lord. You've also heard me say, you're not Jesus Jr. You are not responsible for anything other than loving them, being there for them, giving good counsel that's filtered through Scripture, and let God be God. Let him do his job.
Man,
let him do what he's supposed to do.
That is so good.
And so I think we start with love, but you're also loving well in just the very first steps of loving. You're just choosing to you're deciding, how am I supposed to love them right now? And it's not the same for everybody. It's not supposed to be. But if I think the foundation is just be humble. You're not any better than anybody else.
That is so good. Okay, now Fran, now let's say that we're taking the mindset that you gave us. What about those people who are just like so frustrating, so annoying? The people that like, you're just like, God placed you in my life to refine me and to give me patience and all the things. How are we supposed to still love them in the moments where we are just heated? In the moments where we're like, I cannot get over the hump of like your flaws and over how you treat me and treat other people. How do we still love with that?
That's tough, because it depends on, you know, the access that they have to you. So you're going to have people that you get to decide. I do believe there are people in our lives that are meant to be right here. And then there's people, loving well can also mean you're going to stay back here. But then there are those situations where people are just forced. We maybe didn't choose, or we did choose, and they just happened to be a part of this closer proximity to us, and we just can't cut them out.
Yeah.
And so what do we do? I think
Right.
maybe that's the question.
Yeah.
What do we do when we don't get to love them
Yeah.
from back here? They are right here.
They're in your life.
They're in your life.
Yep.
And they're driving you crazy.
Yep. How do you still love them?
How do you still love them? One of my favorite prayers, and it's so silly, but the only way I can remember it is DFW.
Okay.
Like Dallas-Fort Worth, but it's not Dallas-Fort Worth.
Okay.
It's just DFW.
Yeah.
So it's discernment, some favor, and some wisdom. And so when I am needing something that is a challenge, that person that's right here, that's driving me crazy, Lord, I'm going to really need you to help me discern how to love them, when to love them, where to love them. Because it's not going to all be the same.
Right.
It's okay to create a boundary.
Yeah.
It's okay to do that. I'm going to need the wisdom. And scripture tells us in James, if we need wisdom, ask for it. He'll give it to you generously.
Right.
Raise your hand. Everybody needs wisdom. Every
Yeah.
single one of us. And we're just not asking him for it. We're trying to operate in these relationships out of our own flesh 99% of the time. We know. I need to pray. I need to ask the Lord to give me discernment, favor, and wisdom. But we're not doing it.
Yeah.
And we wonder why we're so frustrated or things aren't changing. When we're praying and we're praying scripture, you better believe there is some kind of transaction happening in the heavenlies. We cannot see it. We don't know what he's up to.
Right.
But we have to know that it's good and it's for us and it's for that person. It's just that we're trying to figure things out on our own. And we just sit and, run circles around. Why am I so frustrated? Why is there no progress being made?
That is so good.
Discernment, favor, wisdom. DFW.
Yes. We're going to remember that. We need to remember that.
Not Dallas-Fort Worth.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Fran, that is so good.
Well, we want things the way we want them.
Yeah.
And in our timing and in our way. And we, want to be the solution and we want to figure it out. And the Lord's like, I'm trying to refine you and I'm trying to refine them. And y'all just need to be humble.
Yeah.
You've probably also heard me say that as you love people and as you do life and just as people in general, there's two things that always go together. And that's being humble and being teachable. And you can't have one without the other. They go together. So if you want to be taught, you're going to have to be humble. And you're going to have to be humble to be taught. And they just go together. And so if you're getting frustrated on how to love people and why things aren't changing, well, I guarantee you, you're just being prideful and arrogant. And the Lord's like, I'm trying to help you out here.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not being humble. I'm not being teachable.
That is some good stuff.
Well,
oh my gosh.
Somebody taught it to me and I've never forgotten it. That is not something I came up with on my own.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to remember that.
Yeah.
That was going to be one of my questions. What is something that you can pull out your back pocket as soon as you're in the heat of the moment? And just DFW.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. A great verse. There's a couple of verses that I marked that I want to, that I think are, and y'all know, 1 John tells us we love because he first loved us. We have to live that. We have to.
Yeah.
We can't live out of our own human love because it's not sufficient. It's not enough.
Yeah.
And so if we're going to love well, it is going to start from realizing who he is, who we are not, and who we are to him. And then we're just going to love the people that drive us crazy.
Yeah.
Because we understand who he is. And that we're going to ask him, Lord, you're going to have to fill me up.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired. My tank is low. All the things. And he's going to say, okay, guess what? I'm going to. And we get to see a real act a movement of the Holy Spirit take place inside of us. For the life of me, I think I have to wonder, are we afraid of what the Holy Spirit can do within us?
Yeah.
Because I can promise you we're not tapping in as much as we should.
Man.
Okay, so we're going to love. 1 John tells us we're going to love because he first loved us. Yeah. And then somewhere, hang on, you know how when you're looking for something, you're like, I swear, I know where it is, but I don't know where it is. Yes. Let the old people put their readers on. Romans 12. If anybody needs something, like they're just stuck and they're like, I don't know what to read, or I don't have a reading plan, or it just all sounds so overwhelming. I always suggest two things. If you need to get to know Jesus, then go read one of the Gospels. I love John. I love John. Just go find Jesus in the Gospels. Go do that. If you're like, no, I don't really want to do that, totally fine. Yeah. Then go read Romans 12. And in Romans 12, starting in verse 9, it says, love must be sincere. Hate what is evil. Cling to what is good. Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. I cannot tell you how many times in my mind, or I have said it out loud, love must be sincere. Who in the world wants to, they don't know it, but who wants to receive fake love? Or love that is hypocritical, that it appeared one way, but it was not genuine, it was not pure, their motive was all wrong. Yeah. We've all been on the receiving end of that. We didn't know it, because you don't walk up to you and say, I'm about to like give you some fake love. Yeah. But we do it all the time. Yeah. And it's like, if I'm going to love, and I'm going to love well, knowing what I know about Christ, that he died for me on the cross for all of my sin, past, present, and future, the whole world, past, present, and future, and he wants to use me as his ambassador for the kingdom, then I really do hope my love is sincere, because a broken world, a dark world, a confused world, aggravated people are going to know us by our love, and we want it to be sincere. We're going to be humble. We're going to get our flesh and our impure motives out of the way, and we're going to do exactly what these verses say. Love, love, love. Romans 12 and those verses. So good.
That is so good.
So good.
That just reminded me of a class that I took here at Union. My professor was like, so many people, like when you ask, where's Fran Thomas? I'll probably be like, in the admissions office or at your house on a walk, something. And if somebody asked, where is Jesus? They're supposed to be able to look at the church and see us acting in love, giving, doing all the things that Jesus would do. And that is, his love would be sincere. Yeah. His love would not be fake. Yeah. And we are his ambassadors. And people look to us to see, who is this Jesus? That's like, sometimes we're the only Jesus that people see.
That's right.
So I was like, oh my gosh, that's such a good thing.
Well, we know this.
Yeah.
We just forget.
Yeah.
Because the world right now, probably, and I'm older, so I can say this, the world is becoming so angry and divided in so many ways. And let it not be said of us that we participated or contributed to that. Yeah. We can stand firm in our convictions, but we're not going to be ugly and rude and unloving about it. So, anyway.
I love that. Oh my gosh, Fran, that was so good. Okay, what about your testimony, a little bit of it, and with your parents, and just knowing a little bit of your testimony, and just broken relationships in general. But you know that they're important relationships, but they're just broken. How can you still love people who are in your life, whether it be your family, close friends, whoever it may be, and you just know that their relationship is just severed? How can you still love them, even in the midst of that brokenness?
Yeah. Well, for me, it was Jesus and some good counseling. Yeah. And that's great. That's what we should do. Not every relationship, even those that are in our family, it's okay. It is okay if they're not going to heal, or because sometimes people don't know they're broken. Yeah. And that's okay. Yeah. That's okay. So for me to have a healthy relationship with my family, I just have to come to terms with, this is okay. I don't know if I can define broken versus healed, progress versus no progress.
Right.
It's just, it is what it is. And I'm not hiding behind that. I just know that there's not going to be progress made. That's okay.
Yeah.
We as people in general, parents or not, whatever capacity you're talking about, you are only able to do what you know to do. And that's okay. I can't judge. I can't blame. I can't fault them. It's just the reality of your life, of your upbringing. We've all got things in our lives, in our past, in our childhood, in our teenage years, young adult years, that are not perfect. Things are broken. And some things can be fixed. Some things, and for me, my fixing, and that's a strange word for me to use, but probably my health and my healing was for me. It wasn't for other people. It was just for me to come to terms with the brokenness that occurred in my childhood and to heal from that. The Lord tends to your broken heart. People can to a degree, but take the weight off of them, take the pressure off of them. You know, some people will say time heals all wounds. That's not true. The Lord heals wounds. Yeah. The Lord does that. And he can do that, just you and him through his word. But sometimes you need some counseling because it's deep and it's really large and complex and it just needs to be tended to. Yeah. And tending to something takes time. Yeah. And you've got to be okay with that. You can't just say, well, you know, this occurred and I need to get this resolved. Yeah. Well, healing may get resolved, but it's just always there. It's a part of your life. It's a part of your story. It's a part of your testimony. It's okay. Yeah. We don't want to necessarily, I don't think, I'm not a licensed counselor by any means, but I'm not going to be oblivious and act like, well, that's done. No, it's a part of who I am. It's a part of my whole self. Right. I just have to learn how to move through it as healthy as I possibly can. Do I always do that right and well? No, but I'm much better than I was. I do think there's situations where people are intentionally causing harm. Right. But for me, it was not intentional. It was just lack of. We just do the best we can with what we know and what we have experienced. Yeah. And for me, I was the recipient of that. Just as somebody else, not as dramatic as this, because you're not a parent, but somebody is the recipient of your love. Right. And so you're only doing what you know to do. Right. And that's okay. That's okay. Man, that is so good. It is. And I love what you said about blame and about putting it on another person. It's easy to do. Yeah. It's easy to point fingers, to be a victim. I am a victim of a lot of things, but I'm not going to live in that space. Yeah. We're a victim of something all day long. Yeah. We just, I don't want to have a victim mentality. Right. That's not helpful. That's not healing. I acknowledge the pain, who caused it, how it affected me, but I'm not going to let it define me and make me angry and point fingers and blame people. Man. That's a terrible way to live. Yeah. But the hard thing is tending to the wounds. Right. That's hard, and it's going to take time. Right. But I love how you talked about counseling as well. Oh, absolutely. Everybody. Huge fan. I am a huge fan. Yes. A huge fan of counseling. Well, we just need a safe place to verbally process all that we're going through. Right. You do. And you need somebody who actually knows what they're talking about to actually help you through it. That's right. So there's a time and a place for it. Time and a place. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. Love it so much. Okay, now we talked about God. Yeah. We talked about others. Yes. Now we're going to talk about ourselves. Oh, okay. And how we can love ourselves. Yes. Now, there is a lot
of comparison that goes on, especially when it comes to college students. Who is making better grades? Who has on the better outfit? Who has the most friends? Who is doing the most that they can and just has their high life, you know, and can just do everything. And it's hard to love people when you are comparing yourself to them. And you are the queen of not comparing, but of uplifting people and being happy for somebody when they are doing well in life and succeeding. So how can we embrace where we are, embrace ourselves, embrace who we are as people, as God has created us to be, but also uplift people at the same time?
Well, let me tell you something. Here's the thing. For some reason, we think that there's not enough room for us all at the table. That God is not big enough for all the people. I mean, He's allowing all the people, like here we are in 2022. I don't know what the population of the world is, but it's a lot. And so from His perspective, He wants to use every single person on this planet for good, to bring Him honor and to bring good to this world. Okay, we know that. And so for whatever reason, we think that we both can't be successful in A, B, C, or D, because for some reason, that's not the way it's supposed to work. No, there's enough room for every single person at the table to use. You know this, there is not another one like you. There will never be another one like you. Literally, there will never be another human being that has your DNA, that has your experiences, your life to honor God and to go about His purposes for you. So why in the world do we get hung up in thinking I can't be used, or they're being used better than I'm being used? It's just a trap that Satan has used for all of time and will continue to use, because he knows it works. Nothing is new under the sun. He's going to continue to use the same stuff that he's always done. And for a female especially, we just get like all, you know, almost just angry and bitter and frustrated and just nasty and ugly and mean about it. Instead of saying, you're awesome. Wait a minute, you're doing a great job. I'm so proud of you. Why is that so hard for that to come out of our mouth genuinely? Remember, love must be sincere. What's our motive? It's just difficult. And I think that if we can just, even if it's hard at first, even if we're just like, I'm so proud of you, and you're just like, I'm really not, but I'm trying. You're trying. You're trying. It's all comes down to pride. Everything. Ask the Lord every single day, where am I prideful in here? Where was I ugly? Where was I talking about somebody behind their back? We're either tearing down or building up. That is what is constantly coming out of our mouths. This thing right here is wonderful and awful all at the same time. And we get to choose how we are going to treat our sister. And we know that, but it's just so sad and frustrating to watch middle school, high school, college age girls struggle in this way. Because guess what? The Lord is going to use you. He's going to use me. He's going to use her. He's going to use her. He wants to use us all. There's room for every single person. Just imagine how this world, how your community, whatever that community looks like for you, would be different if we decided to genuinely love with a sincere heart and motive, with humility, with no agenda, no judgment, no criticism, and cheer for one another. Like, what a difference. I think, no wonder the world is a wreck, because we're so selfish and we're so insecure and we're so arrogant. It's just sad. And I think if, just as females, if we could start opening up our mouth, even if it's difficult at the beginning, because we're struggling with our own security. Again, who is God? what does he say about you? Live from that place. I'm going to have no problem cheering you on.
Yeah.
It's just what we should be doing.
Yeah.
And we just need more of it. We need so much more of it.
That is so good. Oh my gosh.
I'm not in competition with you.
Yeah.
When we feel threatened by somebody, that's the minute we start tearing them down.
And you're not operating in love at all.
No. It's there's enough room at this table for everybody because the Lord has made it that way.
Man.
He's made it that way.
That is so good, friend. And I love when you talked about insecurities. Man,
we're the worst. We're the worst because the world tells us, especially as females, the world tells us how we're supposed to look, and that starts from a very young age.
Yeah,
that we will compliment young girls. We still do it to this day. Yeah. You look so cute. Well, why don't we start calling out some character? Why don't we start calling out some? You know what? You really did a hard thing.
Yeah.
I am so proud of you. You stood up for that. Or you said that. You did that. That was
like your dress is just amazing.
But we don't know. That's such a default for us because we've been raised in that since we were little, that everything was based on appearance instead of, you are so smart in that class. I loved that question that you asked in class. We forget about our minds and we forget about the good deeds that we're doing, and we just spend so much time on this appearance thing, and that is probably the greatest seed that has been planted in us that is taking a long time. It's hard to uproot that. It's not, the Lord does not say, I'm only going to use you if you're cute. And I don't even know what cute means. No.
Very relative.
It is so much more. We are so much more than a physical appearance. And girls are just, we need to start settling that sooner than later.
Oh, I love that. And I feel like I am my most confident when I am complimented. And when people do say I look beautiful or I have on the best shoes or but not my character. Not so much. I love that. And then finding your security in the Lord and who He is and what He says about us.
Listen, if self-confidence and self-esteem and security is a struggle for anybody that listens to this or watches this, then they've just Google search, scriptures on identity. One of my all-time favorite, I don't want to say the address because I'll get it wrong. Maybe Ephesians 2:10. You are His masterpiece. When I think of a masterpiece, I think of something pretty fancy and extraordinary.
Beautiful.
I think of some piece of art that is sitting in some museum and people just stare at it because of its beauty, because of what it means, of its complexity, of its uniqueness. And that's all of humanity across all the museum walls. They don't all look the same. There's a story with each masterpiece. And if we would just begin to appreciate that you are a masterpiece, created and known by God. He knew of you before He created the foundation of the world. He thought that highly of you to bring you in, to live in this time and in this space. And He wants to use you. Then I think we would just kind of hold our head up. Not in arrogance, because we understand who we are. But we know more of who He is and His love for us. And that's going to cause us to love people well, to cheer for one another, but to just be confident, not because of what I've got on, but because of who I am to Him. And that's just something we need to ask the Lord for. We need to pray for that. We need to speak that over one another. That is just language that we need to bring back. When we see our sister down, well, what we probably forget to do is speak that truth back into her, and instead, raising my hand, I'm guilty. I do it all the time. Well, let me just go get you a coffee. That'll cheer you up.
Man.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing. But I might also need to say, listen, don't forget, you are a child of God.
Mm-hmm.
And He has tremendous purpose for you.
Yeah.
You are His beloved. You are a masterpiece. Then you kind of just go, that's right. I am.
Yeah.
And you walk into hard situations
Yeah.
or confusing situations with a little bit stronger of a spine, and you feel a little bit more confident, not because of your own human doings, but because of what His Word says about you.
Yeah. And then it makes me think about like what we can say to women when they are down, not just making up, girl, no, that's a lie.
That's right.
Just speaking truth.
That's right.
Speaking the truth.
It could
of the
very well
words.
be a lie.
Yeah.
But tell them truth.
Yeah.
Because again, go back to this is the living, active Word of God. So there's power in these words. There's something happening when we take His Word and we speak it out over somebody or pray it over somebody. There's something happening in the heavenlies that we cannot see. There's a spiritual battle happening all the time. No wonder we're tired.
Yeah.
We are getting beat up.
Yeah.
We don't have our armor on. We're not slinging our sword like we're supposed to. No wonder we're tired. So the minute you can take that encouraging word and give it to your sister, whether you understand what she's going through, think what she's going through is ridiculous, don't like it, whatever. It's not about that. It's like, hang on a minute. Let me tell you what His Word says.
Yeah.
And then something's going to happen.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen. It's not for us to know and to see or understand, but that's what I want somebody saying over me when I'm tired, when I'm weary, when I'm frustrated. Yes, I would love an encouraging word, but I really want you to
redirect you back to the word.
Give me a word.
Yeah.
Pray a word.
Yes.
Over me.
And that's better than any advice that we could just give to anybody or think about.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Man, this has been such a blessing.
We can talk for hours.
Forever. Just on the same question. I love it. Okay, the last question.
Okay.
The fun question that you get to answer, and we get to know Fran more.
Okay.
What are 3 simple joys that stir your affections for Christ? 3 things that you just absolutely love. That just Jesus, thank you.
I am a sucker for a sunset.
Ooh.
I mean, a sucker for it. I don't know what it is about West Tennessee, but we have some beautiful skies at night.
We do. We really
beautiful, and I will stare at it. And a lot of times, I've said this before. I said, you know what? When I get to heaven, whenever I'm called home, I'm going to ask the Lord to just put me in charge of a sunset. Yeah. Can I please have that responsibility?
I love that.
I want to just be a part of it. There's such beauty in the fact that we've ended a day. Yeah. He saw us through. He was so faithful to us that day. And Lord willing, a new day's coming. Those same mercies are coming. And I just could stare at it all day. It doesn't last long, though. Yeah. You're like, well, I had 3 minutes, and it was over because it changes so fast. So I'm a sucker for a sunset. I'm a sucker for the beach. To watch that ocean. I'm like, how in the world does it not know to come up and just flood us all? You know? It's just the concept. I'm not a science earth major. I have no idea. But you understand, just the regular Joe person understands the fact that we have a tide, that we have a moon and a sun, and all the water stays put.
And it's all working together.
It's crazy to me that we cannot see past that horizon, but we know that it just goes on. And everything stays intact.
It's crazy.
For the most part, when there's not some natural disaster, everything stays intact. And I love it. It just shows that He's in control. Just like that sunset, He shows that He's in control. And then the other thing that I just love, and I think it's just fun of God, I think He is just so much fun. And I think we take Him for granted. Like, I think a lot of us, when we see mountains or we see the earth or anything, we just naturally think of, wow. Yeah. But I also think that He's so kind and so fun to give us animals.
Yes.
I love my dogs. And I call them People Junior. They're just precious. They're just precious. We get so much joy out of an animal. Whether you're looking, you've got your own dogs, and you just think, this is the craziest thing in all the world that this dog loves me this much.
Yeah.
And I love that dog that much.
Yeah.
But I could also be at a zoo and just be like, this is crazy. Look at everything.
Yeah.
Look at everything that the Lord has created for us just to enjoy. Like the giraffe and the zebras and their stripes.
Yeah.
And it's just insane. I love, maybe I was meant to be a zookeeper or something. I don't know. But I just think the simple things, even if you're looking, at flowers. Or, it just that's something that happens as you get older. You get weird when you get older, and you just can look at trees even and go, God, thank you, Lord. Thank you. He's so fun.
He is. And
then he gives us good things like coffee and people and cute notebooks and pens and planners and creative people that create all this stuff for us to enjoy. It's just like, don't take him for granted. He's in every little thing.
He is. I was literally telling Steve the other day, like, God did not have to give us taste buds.
No.
He didn't.
He gave them to us. Because he knew we were going to love Mexican food.
Yes.
He knew we were going to love
coffee.
Yes, and he said, okay, this is what we're going to do right here. You're just like, thank you. So when you sit down and you are able to eat your favorite meal, that's why we love, like, where are we going to go eat? Because it's joyful. It brings us joy. And we just need to sometimes pause for a minute and go, this is really good. Thank you for that chips and cheese dip and guacamole and all that.
Man, Fran, thank you so much for being on here, sharing all of your wisdom. That was amazing. I'm going to go back and listen to it myself just for reminders of all the things. And it's going to be amazing.
You're sweet.
And I know that it's going to bless so many people.
I hope so. This is fun.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I really appreciate it. And you're going to get a complimentary honey stick for your future tea. And it's in the shape of a tea.
I love it.
You're so nice.
So sweet.
Okay, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, our first episode of the season. We really kicked it off with a bang with Miss Fran Thomas, and she's just amazing. She's literally like this every day. She's not fake. She is sincere in everything she does. And it's a pleasure to know her. So if you want to know more about her, if you're on Union, I'm sure she would just love for you to come by and stop and say hello. But also re-listen to this video because it was amazing. And she gave so many good tips, so many good words and wisdom. And she was just sharing the truth. And I just hope you guys get blessed. You guys can follow me on Instagram and just follow us on Spotify as well. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and find this video on YouTube and Spotify and on our website. So thank you guys. So good. Bye. Man, wasn't that such a blessing to listen to Fran Thomas talk about the fruit of the Spirit, which is love. I learned so much from her, learning about DFW, learning about how we can love people even when we have broken relationships with them, how we can love people when we get in a mindset of comparison. And oh my goodness, in college, comparison is crazy. And I feel like I compare myself to people 100 times a day. But that's not the mindset that Christ wants us to have. And he wants us to operate in love. And I love what she opened with was the way that we love God is to get to know him, but also to love other people. So as you are going into your Valentine's Day with the people that you love, start off your day with thinking about why you love the Lord and try to love someone back. And not even on Valentine's Day, but also throughout the rest of your week, throughout the rest of your month, your year, throughout the rest of your life. Show God that you love him by loving other people. And try to bless other people by telling them the truth, which is his word, encouraging and uplifting him and uplifting others. So I just pray that you guys got as blessed as I did from listening to Fran. She's so wise, such a kind woman. And I was just so happy for her to be on the show. So remember to follow us on YouTube, subscribe to our channel at Teas and Testimonies. And also remember to follow us on Instagram. And you can find my website there and then listen and subscribe as well on Spotify. Thank you.